Hello and welcome to another Raggy's beer review. So back in the beer room again, and it's warm ish anyway. It is actually 14 degrees outside, but with the wind it's bloody freezing. There's a good chill in the air. I won't say it's chilly, but it's not as warm as it should be. So anyway, over to Wold Top Brewery, based in Yorkshire, for their Angler's Reward, a golden pale ale, it says. 4% ABV. I will read what it says. A refreshing, lightly hopped pale ale, easy drinking with notes of fresh herbs and lemon, and a hint of pine. The perfect reward, angler or not, and great with fish. So, yeah. I don't eat fish, so. Although technically, I do get the fish fillets that were battered from Iceland, but I don't get fish. Although I do like a fish from a fish and chip shop, but not the fish where their heads are on, and no. Salmon, no. Anyway, it's Friday afternoon. I've done my shift at work. I've got 2 greenhouses full of seeds that I've sowed today, and over the next couple of months they should grow, hopefully, into something amazing. Hopefully. And that's the Raggy plan of action, trying to grow stuff, push myself in that direction. I mean, I do that, and I do all my garden, I do my mowing, my edging off, hedges, weeding, and so on, blowing paths and all that. So it's nice to have some me work. So a lovely clear golden ale, lovely bit of carbonation going up, a decent sized head on this. It's a lovely clear beer. I wouldn't expect anything less from a great brewery. So citrusy, malty aroma on this. Ooh, let's dive in. And again, refreshing. Refreshing's the word. Oh, after a long day. I mean, I was at work from 6:30 till 1:30, shortest day today. Took an hour and a half's loo time. Well, actually, an hour's loo time. I think it worked out in the end. Came home, jumped in the garden, laid 16 slabs, rake the area where the slabs are. That's going to be planted soon when I get the plants. And then weeded the front garden, and I've just finished weeding it on my hands and knees, picking out the little farty weeds before they get too big, getting rid of all the dandelions that send their roots down into the soil. And they're all right, but they're an absolute pain in the backside. Once you've got them, it's you've got to dig them out the proper way to get rid. You can weed kill, but they will come back. That root, you don't get rid of the root by weed killing. Not with today's weed killers anyway. Back in the day maybe, but yes, that's it, and I'm breaking the back of the garden now. I've done more new beds. By weeding the front garden, it gives me the ability now to move plants around, because I can look and see what's growing, and if it's too busy, and it is a bit busy in places, move some onto the back where they can flourish and cool the busyness down a bit. And when we're digging the back garden over again, it gets rid of weed seedlings. You'll never ever get rid of them all. You'd have to spray for like 2-3 years to get rid of all your weeds, seedlings, and even then they'll come back, I must admit at work, when I think about a work basis, that I've pretty much defeated the perennial weeds at work. You know, like your nettles, your docks, and things like that. Pretty much defeated them. Brambles as well. Brambles were horrendous at one stage, and again, pretty much defeated them. Like I say, these last few days with the warmer weather, this will ignite the plants now, and we can start seeing greenery. We can start seeing spring bulbs. You know, at the moment it's all about snowdrops, but daffodils will start to push their way up. The bluebells, they send their green leaves up, and it all gets, you know, in the space of a few weeks, it's like someone turns on turns the switch, and all of a sudden it's like you've gone from a dreary and a really dreary winter into something a bit nicer, you know. One hopes, anyway. Oh. So, yeah, that is tasting lovely. Going down a treat for me. Like I say, Wold Top, cracking brewery, great range of beers. You know, Scarborough Fair IPA. If I could buy that tonight, I'd be bringing it back, and I'd drink that off camera, obviously, but just to enjoy what is an absolute legend of a beer. This also is very good, you know. It's a lower ABV beer, and you know, it's funny, my beer consumption, I mean, I've come down to do a beer review now just to keep some content on the channel, for now at least. And yeah, I don't need to drink beer anymore. I don't need to come down and do a beer review. There may well be a time when I literally do one beer review a week, or even less than that, you know. Who knows? Once we get into spring, I may well change my mind, because at this time of year it's cold in here, and not only that, when you go through the winter, my spare pennies to do beer reviews has dropped down. It seems to be getting worse and worse year in, year out, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, you know. I'm sure that lots of people out there feel the pinch, and but we enjoy to go out on a Saturday afternoon. We don't spend a lot of money, 20, 30, sometimes more, but the majority of the time it's like 20 or 30 quid, and it's not a lot in the grand scheme of things. It is a lot for a lot of people, but a lot of people will go out at the weekend, spend 200 quid and more on a weekend boozing. I've done it myself, so I know how much you can spend. You go out, you go for a meal, two of you, you're whopping the beers down, you've got cocktails and all that sort of stuff. You can spend a lot of money very quickly. You think about Imperial Stouts. You can get an Imperial Stout 6 or 7 quid. Not that I really like, I hate paying that price. 5 I'm good with, 6 or 7 I'm like, Jesus Christ, when does it end? Yeah. And it's funny how them that have got the money will always say, well, I'll still pay it. Them that can't. Oh. Like I say, lovely citrusy, fruity beer. So refreshing, clean, crisp, refreshing. I can't fault it at all. Would I drink it again? Absolutely. Do we see Wold Top in Nottingham? Absolutely not. I've never seen Wold Top down this area. I assume that, like a lot of breweries, because Wold Top is Yorkshire, it's a trek to get to Nottingham. And unless breweries are getting regular business around this area, you're not going to even bother. Unless you've got a distribution service, small beer for one, that can... Saying that, I have had a Wold Top. I had the Christmas one over at Wetherspoons in Beeston, but we're not really Wetherspoons fans. Went in one week, it wasn't so bad. Went in the next week, it was like, oh God, what have you walked into? I think it's when it gets to a certain time of day and that all of a sudden, and oh dear. I mean, I'm not posh, but yeah, yeah. So this weekend, you'll be watching this tomorrow, which is Saturday, because I'm literally only a day in front now. I have no beer reviews stocked up. You can see behind me that there's literally no beers. So I'm not doing, and to be honest, I ain't got the heart to do 2 or 3, 4 beer reviews. I may well have in the summer when I'm out in the garden a bit more often, and that's if I've got the beers to do beer reviews, but that's another thing altogether. But I dare say I'll do beers in the garden and then talk crap about the last week and things like that, you know. I see the channel evolving, but in some form at least. Oh God. Yeah, tired. But yeah, so we're not going boozing this weekend. We're actually going to a ghost hunt sort of thing. We'll get some bloody torches. Although you can use your phone, and just make sure I charge up 2 or 3 phones, so that you know, multiple phones. But yeah, looking forward to that. I know what my workplace is like for strange noises, and yeah, should be fun. Other than that, might do some more gardening this weekend, get the mowing done, edging off done, and then I can start looking at what I'm going to move around. And I kind of use my garden, although I'm starting to come away from it in some ways because wages and appreciation. But I use my garden as like a testing bed for work. But again, like I say, I'm starting to come away from that because people take you for granted, and you know, plants aren't cheap in this day and age. I mean, we'll still remember that. You know, you go to a garden centre these days, and it's like, Jesus Christ. And I know how expensive plants are. So yeah, my we were supposed to be going today, and it never happened. And there's a shock coming. But I've kind of hit that spot in life now. Maybe all of a sudden I've just clicked the grown up button, where I really, frankly, don't. I do care, but I also don't. And I'll do what I do my job, then walk away. which is yeah, kind of not me really. I always take it home with me, but now no. So interesting times. I've rattled. You know, it's been a while since I've done rattle reviews, but again, Wold Top Brewery. Yeah, cracking beer. It got me talking. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the warmer temperatures in the beer room. Got to be thankful for every year that we get through winter and we get back into spring. Thank God. Would I drink this again? Yes. Out of 5, good 4.4 for me. A lovely golden ale. Yeah. Just delivers on what it says. Can't fault it. And that's my review. But yeah, Angler's Reward. Poof. Great beer. Cheers up.